So, what is a website contact page? Basically, a contact page is one of the typical website pages you'd put on your website. So it's one of the standard pages, but it's also a way then you can list all your contact details. Again, this is sort of just one of the norms that people expect to have on a website page, which is a contact page. And then on that page, you'll be able to list all your contact details. And those contact details can basically be any way that you'd like someone to reach out to you or your company. So phone number, if you have that, definitely an email address. If you have a physical location, you can put that there too. If you do have a physical location, it is helpful on your contact page to add some sort of link to different mapping software so that basically if they click on something, especially if they're on their smartphone, it can bring up a set of directions automatically because you've integrated that technology in there. If you happen to be a service area business, meaning that you go out to other people's homes to perform services, you may have an area that range that you do your services. So having that information on your contact page too helps because, again, if you can't serve that person, you might as well tell them up front why they're trying to contact you. One nice thing to put on the contact page is basically a contact form, which is another way of saying a website form. So a technology where people input data into fields that have titles and then submit that information. The reason this is nice is they don't have to have an email program. They don't have to give you a call. They can basically just type in the information. You also can ask, in effect, by the fields that you want to have filled out if there's specific questions you need answered to kind of move it on. Where if, say, for example, on an email, if you just have an email link and they send an email, you may have to have a back and forth conversation because you didn't get all the information you need up front. So a website form is a nice thing to have. And then what happens after that web form is filled out, there's usually a submit button, and then that information the website takes together and will actually send a message. But it is nice on these cases to add a little more extra technology to that. So for example, that maybe the person who's submitting, if they leave their email address, they get a notification back that you actually received their information from the contact form, and then of course, you get a notification that somebody submitted something on there. So the submit button can actually do a few different things. And then finally, once you've got this contact page created, you want to go ahead and put links to it on different places. So it should be one of the things that's in your main menu, but also people sometimes scroll down the bottom in your footer and look for the contact information there. So a couple good places to put that so people where they typically look for it. So some conclusions about a contact page. Again, a contact page is a place where you put your contact details, so things like phone number, email address, physical address you have. A lot of contact pages have a website form because it makes it easier to send, fill out all the information and send without having to worry about starting an email program or anything like that. When you submit your form, you're actually typically going to want to send that as an email, definitely to yourself, but maybe as a notification back to the person submitting. And you want to put your contact page in multiple places on your website so people can find it.